thanks for joining us in the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center. I'm Molly O'Brien. Brown University has a program and a space called the Breakthrough Lab, or B-Lab for short. So it hosts an 8-week accelerator program that supports entrepreneurs developing high-impact ventures. So I would like to introduce one of our guests today. We're meeting one of the startups, and Isaac Zussman is a co-founder of Pangea Mart. He helped design the Pangea app. It was kind of one of his projects. Isaac, do you want to come around the corner?
Yeah.
Come on in.
Hi, Molly.
Isaac, so nice to meet you.
Likewise.
So, pretty exciting thing that you have going on here. Pangea is an app that you and your teammates have helped develop. Adam is behind the scenes. He's taken some pictures. And you're working to continue development with Pangea through Brown University's Breakthrough Lab. So we're going to talk a little bit about what Pangea is, just kind of on a basic level, and then we're going to get more into it, just kind of on how it's coming to, and we're going to show you, because it actually is a real thing. So tell us just a little bit about what Pangea is.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. So Pangea is an open marketplace where anybody can post any services or goods that they think that their local community would value, right? And it's a completely free tool to download and use, and, you know, any service or good or request that you might have of your local community, you can post right then and there. So there's almost no risk to give it a shot and throw something out there and see what could come back. And so that's basically it in a nutshell. Is we're just building a platform to allow individuals to monetize their skills.
Cool. So as you have gone through and developed this, it started out as just a thought in your head, right? So how have you taken this idea and made it into something, or the start of something?
Right. Well, it's been a very long road. As there was a quote, it takes 10 years to be an overnight success, so we're right on schedule. So it originally started as a website, good to go service, which basically I got to full development, almost ready to launch the product, and then apps became a huge deal. And when apps became a huge deal, I realized that there's almost no point in me building the product without it being an app first. And so then basically start back at square one and redesign and redevelop the idea from scratch. And that's when Good to Go turned into Pangea. And that's when the team that's working on it now, it came together. So
tell me this, how did you decide that this was a valuable item for service, valuable product, and how did Brown University and Breakthrough Lab decide that this was valuable and they wanted to introduce you into the program?
Sure. Well, I mean, I decided...
you didn't go to Brown, right?
No, I never went to Brown.
Which is cool, which is why your story is even more unique.
Yeah, actually, I grew up in Pawtucket. And I went to Shea, went to St. Andrews, and so for me, I realized that university would be the perfect place to incubate an idea like this, because you end up with a lot of early technology adopters, a lot of people with very unique skills and knowledge, and also go-getters, have that energy to go out there and promote themselves. And so initially we decided that Brown would be a perfect launch point. Obviously, I know Providence very well, I know the area very well, and I thought that would be a nice tight-knit community to try these tools at first. So that was sort of the original impetus for launching the way we're launching.
Cool. I like that. Okay, so why don't you have the app is a real thing, because I was like, do you guys have it in beta? Are we testing this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's show what it is, and maybe you can hold it up. I don't have it on my phone. It's on your phone. Kind of I'll just have you show it up, and then we can see right here what it looks like too. Just kind of show people what it is, how to use it, and explain to me why this is different from other apps, websites on the market. Because when you say something, we're using, people can post things, I automatically think, or goods or services, I automatically think, well, what about TaskRabbit? What about eBay? What about Let It Go? There already kind of are those programs and services out there. What makes this different? So
I would say that one of the largest things that makes us different is that a lot of these other apps, TaskRabbit, Thumbtack, Uber, these sorts of companies, they have positioned themselves to be the middleman, right? Okay. So they connect users and providers. Somebody wants to get a ride, they'll connect you with a driver. So there's no choice being made by the person who's paying for the service. And so there's a benefit to that because it's very quick, easy, one step. But on the other hand, they are controlling all the elements of the interaction. They're deciding how much you're going to be charged, how much it's going to cost, whether or not you even take the service, because you're penalized if you're a driver and you don't accept a ride. So what I wanted to do was create a platform that offered all of the same tools, because all the companies that you just listed are either using some sort of a chat interface, a user profile, push notifications, in-app payments. And so all of these companies, they're using the same tools, but they're just shoving themselves into a niche, right? Which is understandable because it's very easy to direct that market. So the idea was, if you build all of these tools and make the marketplace completely open, what people will decide and come up with what to do is so much more amazing and incredible than anything that we would come up with in a think tank for 10 years. So that's the idea, is that you inspire people to work for themselves, right? If you're an Uber driver, why would you ever tell anyone to use Uber, right? Because it doesn't benefit you. It's not like you could be like, hey, I'm an Uber driver, hire me. Like, I have a really nice car, it's a good service. You can't do that. Where on Pangea, if you're a driver, you are yourself. You're your own business. And maybe you say, I'm only driving in Providence, and then someone says $150 to drive me to Boston. All of a sudden your business just changed, right? Because it's worth it to you for that interaction. So it's all about individualism. It's all about the person feeling in control, and the business that they're doing is their business. So
how is that different than maybe Craigslist?
So
You're an app?
But okay, there's one example, is that it's an app, but also another thing to think about with Craigslist is the anonymity, right? And some people like the anonymity, right?
Yeah, right. So that's one aspect of Craigslist.
Right. And some people like it for the anonymity, and a lot of people really don't. And another issue with Craigslist is that if you want to contact someone, or if you want to work out a deal, you got to give up your email address or your phone number, and that's very personal, and that's very, that can be detrimental. I've been on the job hunt and start sending out my email address, and all of a sudden, the spam is rolling in, right? So what this is that you chat with someone in-app. It's completely non-committal, and it's all in the context of the actual service that they've posted or provided. And so there's a lot less risk to reach out to somebody and ask them questions. So.
And Adam's outside taking pictures.
Yes, he is.
That's awesome.
He's a go-getter. So.
We'll have him, when we're doing the interview, we'll have him come over and take some pictures as well. Okay, so pull out the app.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Here, give it a little more of a
because it looks cool. So far, it looks good. And kind of walk us through just a little bit about...
So, for instance...
What it looks like, how you've even gotten this far. Because like you said, it's been an overnight success as the 10-year, whatever that thing is.
Yeah. So, basically... it's taken a lot to get it to here. So, it's hard for me to see and point it out. So right now, the way the app is laid out is it's in services, goods, and requests.
That looks good.
So here are a list of services that people are providing. Baby photo shoots. And so right here, there's a description of what the person's offering, some pictures of examples of other samples that, of photographs that they've taken. You can view their full profile, so that allows you to see reviews from other people, what their ratings are from local consumers. And then if you decide this is something you want, you press chat now and you communicate with them directly. And if you see right up top, you have the ability to make the offer. So in this case, it's a set price. So she said it's $30 flat fee, and you decide whether that's something that is valuable to you or not. You communicate, and then whenever you're ready, you make the offer. And then she accepts it, the payment goes through, and that's the transaction. So as a cool example is you can actually decide to make a post negotiable, which means that both parties can go back and forth and offer a different price, or
how about $27?
Right, exactly, right. But even if it isn't negotiable, you can still communicate a negotiation, right? You can still say, listen, here's what I need. Would it be possible that we could do it this way? Or on the other hand, it's like, it's a $30 fee, but I actually want you to do more. So it's like, okay, so that time you're going to actually be $60. But that's the human-to-human, peer-to-peer interaction that we're pushing for. So that's the impetus behind that.
And what is your goal with this? Why is this important for you that you're pushing for it? Because you've mentioned interaction with people. You've mentioned that it's important for you to have people be their own type of entrepreneur. So, I mean, what are kind of some important goals for you if this gets out onto the marketplace?
My goal is that every individual that has any marketable skill or any ideas that they want to start as terms of a company or something that would help out their community, that there are no barriers to entry for that. That they can do that and be fully responsible for that, and and reap all of the benefits of that. Even nowadays, a lot of people would like the supplemental income, even if they work full time. And a lot of the options that are out there, you're committing to somebody else, you're becoming an employee, right? You're becoming you're tying yourself to somebody else's time and energy, as opposed to everything that you're doing it for yourself and for the people that appreciate what you're doing. And the company is called Pangea, right? Because the idea is that big picture, we're going to bring the globe back together, right? In an open marketplace where everybody is represented. So one day, someone who's knitting socks in Siberia can sell their socks to someone in the United States. So that's the big picture goal, is making a marketplace built by people for people.
So when it comes down to, so it'll be people with people transactions, how do you as a company monetize that?
So there's a number of different ways that we plan on monetizing. One of the earliest ways is to be taking a small commission from the transaction on the provider side. So obviously the person paying for the service is going to be paying what they agreed upon, but on the provider side there'll be a small percentage taken out as a commission on our part. And that actually is going to be very beneficial for the company and for the people in the larger context in general, because that makes us cash positive right away. And so it makes it much easier for us to not become beholden to a bunch of venture capitalists whose money we need to put in to make it a viable idea. And so that's really one of the major things, is keeping it as much in our control as possible, so that we don't have to compromise our values or our ethics when building and launching the initial site, which is or the app, which is very critical and nerve-wracking, and exciting.
So as you continue this effort, you're in this program with the Breakthrough Lab at Brown University. Are you getting advice and strategy and mentoring to continue to try to push this thing forward? And do you think that through this program you're getting to that point where it's becoming a reality rather than just concept? I mean, you have a physical product already on your phone.
Right, absolutely. I mean, B-Labs has been above and beyond what my expectations were for it. When we applied, we didn't know, whether you're going to get in. We did our pitch, we gave it our all, and since we've been in it, it's been unbelievable. Like all of the people that are involved in it, that are running the program, completely engaged. We've had one-on-one conversations with everyone that's involved with actually setting up the program. They're all, completely tuned into what our app is. They all downloaded it, have feedback and all these things. And every Wednesday, we have an entire day where they bring in heavy hitter entrepreneurs or lawyers or business advisors to sit down and talk with us, as a group, and then one-on-one office hours, cool. Even just hang out and have lunch with us, so it's not a formal conversation. It's just, what do you think about this, or what would you think about this idea? And on top of that, they've connected us with two personal mentors that are working just with us with Pangea. And both of the mentors they've connected us with are just like, we're over the moon about them. They're both very, very, very skilled and experienced in their expertise, which are very different from each other. And so we've been invaluable advice, because we're so in it that our noses are touching it. So sometimes you need to have somebody in there to give that outsider perspective, which sometimes brings something into focus that we were staring at for 3 days.
Yeah. So people are interested in Pangea. How close do you think you are to bringing it to marketplace?
So our goal is to launch in the fall.
Wow.
Yes. So at the end of the summer, we're planning on launching at Brown University, internally at Brown, for it's just to test to make sure everything's working right. Obviously,
seems like a good testing ground, right?
Right. Yes. Exactly. It's a safe
need
surroundings.
A tutor,
Exactly.
Need a dog walker or anything like that.
And that's another thing, is that every single Brown student if they don't have a specialized skill, which I'm sure they actually do, they can be a tutor, because everyone is excellent in some subject that someone else is weaker in, and that sort of symbiotic relationship, everybody has something to provide. And so doing it in an insulated environment like that allows us to not only test how we're going to market it, how we're going to promote it, and get people involved, but also making sure that there's no bugs and these things, which is very much the technical side is just as intense. So
app development is not for the faint of heart.
No, it is not. No, or faint of will. So yes, absolutely.
Cool. It's been really exciting to hear from you, Isaac.
Thank you.
And please continue to let us know developments on Pangea. So testing, going out for testing in the fall, so fall 2017, and then see how that goes, and then release to general public. Do you have like a potential timeline, or
yes,
not releasing that to the public?
Yes, we do, but yeah, we're keeping that close to our chest for now,
okay.
and going to work through it accordingly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Absolutely.
We'll see how it goes.
Yes,
All right.
Yes.
So Isaac Zussman and Adam's outside.